Welcome back to the weekly video. As usual, we are going to look at the stocks that was highlighted previously in the videos, in the email, or in the Telegram group. So I will start off with Venture. I mentioned last week that Venture, hopefully it doesn't retest 1444 support level, but it did. And it managed to hold at the support level and rebound. As I mentioned, why it is not good to be testing the support level, because there might be a risk that the downward action may continue. And how is that so? And let me show you what I meant. Okay, so going back to this scenario where Venture in the past during this period went to as low as 1496 from a support, rebounded. Then the rebound halfway did not continue higher, pull back and came back down to hit back to this support level at 1496. So you can see that the formation of downtrend remains intact with the low, lower, high, and when it breaks down this low or this support level at 1496, then you continue downtrend. And this is what it did. It broke down and then it continued downtrend, going lower, then before it rebound back. Okay, so this is what I meant. And now, fast forward back to the current situation. Although there was a strong rebound on this particular period, Venture did not manage to rebound strongly here, as it came down to test this 1444 low, forming a support. And what we see here is that it came back down to test this level and attempt to break down this support level. You can see this lower shadow over here. So the glimmer of hope is that it managed to recover and close up above 1444, which means that there are some buying pressure. And this was supported by some follow-through buying as Venture rebounded slightly, now trading at $14.62, $14.63. So what would give Venture another lifeline to tell us that it is going to go back to 1525? First, we want to see today Venture close higher, probably around 1467 towards 1471. The higher it close, the better, of course. And if it can move forward higher, drawing a pencil, back to 1525, retesting this level, then we have a double bottom formation. But if it doesn't do that, it rebounded halfway to $15, then pull back to this $14.44 low. Then we are facing a descending triangle, similar to Genting previously, and then a breakdown would continue the downtrend. So it will be a crunch time for Venture now, whether to be able to survive this downtrend. Then is tight to go up. So all this depends on starting from today, see how it close. Hopefully, as it continue higher follow-through buying, helps to push it back to 1525. Next will be CapitaLand Invest. So this counter highlighted in the email many times, in the video I explained last week. And you can see that this counter now hovering at this 320 something to 340 for quite some time. Okay, last week we were here, but the counter sold down and rebounded, and now it's trying to move up, but seems like there's some struggle to move back to this resistance at 347. As you can see, it opened higher and closed lower. So this usually is a sign of struggling, and we have to wait for the closing to conclude what may be happening going forward. So if CapitaLand Invest close 342, then we have a high chance to continue 347. So if CapitaLand Invest goes to 337, then there might be some bearish spell ahead. Then the whole change of trend may be affected. Okay, so the whole change of trend, as I mentioned earlier, just is that we can see a potential higher low here, and it got to follow by a higher high. Very similar to something like this: low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So here we have to see the same thing happening again. Will this happen? So like I say, watch for closing. Next, we move on to the next email highlighted iFast and UMS. Okay, so iFast, last week I mentioned about the flag patterns, and iFast announced results. As I mentioned, this week will be the full-fledged week where we can see a lot of counters announce results. So you can see the result is fantastic, turn black. The CEO give a positive outlook, and this counter break out from this resistance, from 490 resistance to 505, and now it has a cluster of resistance facing over here, not very strong one that is facing, but you need to clear this 530 and higher so that you can go to the next one around 570, which was a previous support and resistance, and then resistance going forward for this counter. So iFast is bullish right now. So let's see whether we can see iFast at 570 going forward. And UMS are disappointing. Why? Because last week we mentioned that it tested this resistance 110, but it did not manage to break up. Then there was a strong sell-off. Look at the volume, pretty strong. I'm not sure what happened then. There isn't any bad news. Result is coming for UMS, but don't know when. It's always on a step mode. Suddenly you can just announce result. So the good thing here is that we managed to hold at this support level at 103. So let's redraw everything. 103 support level, and hopefully it can rebound back to its resistance level at this 111. Okay, so when we talk about this counter, right? Currently there isn't any clear trend. Seems like this counter is going for a sideways, and hopefully the result don't surprise. So if the result surprise to the downside, then yeah, it's going to break down from this consolidation. But if the result is good, then we can see it may recovering higher above 113 or towards this 125 gap. Okay, so there's a gap over here, 124 to 125. So we shall watch what will happen going forward. Currently, the counter is forming doji. Like I say, on the big picture, just now what I was saying was it was a big picture sideways. Now on a micro picture, day-to-day basis, we see that this counter is on the doji, trying to confirm this support at 103, but it needs follow through buying. So like I say, the result has to be good in order to have this follow through buying to what happened. Next will be Hong Kong Land and Genting. I'm going to update this counter right now. So Hong Kong Land, quite disappointing. But personally, I thought that this counter should rebound as China vow to stabilize their property market. If you see the drawing here, I've drawn this before the videos. This is a downtrend channel. So what is a channel? Channel is a range of movement that the counter would tend to trade to. We have a sideways channel, we have a downtrend channel, we have an uptrend channel. So if you look at the channel, the counter actually retested is downtrend lines. So last week we were here, the hammer pattern didn't have a follow through buy. In fact, it breaks support and goes down to retest this downtrend line. And here you should find some support. As you can see, the doji over here is trying to confirm this support. And if it rebound, then it probably will hit this T level 371, which is a uptrend or rather upper downtrend line resistance, and then the previous support turn resistance as well. So it will be a a important movement going forward because, or rather, it will be a very important things to watch for this counter at 372, because this movement breaking out above 372 will help it change its trend, recovering from its downtrend. So we do see a sign, or I do see a sign that it will be down. So let's see whether it will happen or not. Then we have Genting over here. So Genting. This morning I also posted Genting, right? Update here. And we are seeing a hammer and we need a follow through buy. At least Genting must close 94 today. And at least 965 resistance tested. And then we have a positive consolidation and a breakout, helping to change its trend. As of now, Genting support is holding. That's a good sign. And we hope for more positive results. Okay. And let's see. Next counter will be BRC Asia over here. BRC Asia resistance at 168, tough nut, cannot crack. So continue to wait. But the positive signs are still there as the major outlook still up. Okay, so we shall see what happens. Then we have sets over here. That is struggling to move higher. As you can see, the candle is not very strong over here, but overall the uptrend is still there. And hopefully sets can close 277. It will make it stronger as the candles get longer. And 281 will be the ultimate resistance to meet, or near-term resistance to meet. And then once it breaks out from 281, then we will look at 291 resistance. So the uptrend is still there. And let's hope that more positive outcome from this counter. AEM. So I spotted this hammer highlighted in this email. AEM. Okay, let's go to the AEM. Here. Okay, so AEM, we saw a hammer, and today we have follow through buying action, okay, on the second hammer that was formed yesterday. Nicer hammer, a white candle hammer. And then if we can continue on this bullish momentum, then we will see 392 retested. Okay, it will be very important for this counter to hit back 392 because that will help it remain positive and then keep its hope alive for a potential uptrend going forward. But it's a tough job because EM has multiple reasons to clear. Then in order to form the share uptrend, it has to do a lot of things like strong breakout above 402, etc. So let's see where AEM is going to hit to. Then just now we talked about capital invest already. Keppel Corp next. So what about Keppel Corp over here is that I mentioned this morning that Keppel Corp has broken out from its 697. So if we trace back to the previous projection, 710 was the first level hit, and it does. It did hit earlier, or 708, thereabout. Then if we manage to continue higher and break out above its 717 resistance, then we can see more upside towards 765. It opened higher, looks promising, but now seems like there's some profit taking coming in. Okay. Keppel Corp result is coming. So what we are looking at is that today we have a good closing at least above $7, then has a chance to go back towards 717. Okay, and next will be one counter that you might want to take note, which is Sembcorp Industry. So you can see a hammer yesterday and we have the gap, which is a good thing, but the not so good thing is it closed, it is trading lower now. So forming a long upper shadow again. Overall, the chart formation is a symmetrical one. So you can see the slide. So over here, then we have, yeah. So Semiconductor industry can either go up or down, right? Depending on where you breaks. If it breaks above here, then you go up. Then if it breaks down, then you go down. And if you were to look at the, Telegram group, every day we have this report sending out to you. Okay, so this is a Lim and Tan compiled report. So Lim and Tan has their own research team. So they compiled the report, like reporting today's UOB result is fantastic. That's why the banks are rallying. And then we have Parkway Life, which doing pretty well. So we shall see where Parkway Life is going to be. And you can look for the highest consensus dividend yield here to decide which counter you should add to your dividend portfolio. So if you are looking at to collect passive income, so you should aim for some of these counters. Of course, you can see Hong Kong land over here because of its depreciating price. That's why the yield is getting higher. Yeah, that is also a good point for you to do dollar cost averaging. And going through the list, then you can see dividends coming for counters like, for example, Keppel DC is going next, 505. So it's pretty decent dividend. SIA and Singtel coming in as well. Then the dates are here. And we should also take note of the results here. So the results are compiled over here. So you update every day. So do take note of the reports every day. And we have Keppel Cup result coming in tonight after market. So we shall see what's going to happen. Then SIA as well. The SIA here. I'm not sure whether you can see or not. Is it too blur? Let me zoom in. Yeah, so that you can see clearer. So SIA after market, Keppel Cup after market. Then we have City Development on the 10th. And Semiconductor Industry on the 4th of August. Venture as well. So all these will be key market signs that they will be looking at, push the market up or push the stocks up or down. Okay, so with this, I'd like to end the video. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for all the likes and continue to support me and I will be happy to continue to generate this video. Anything, feel free to let me know. Anything that you unclear about the video, like for example, you watch already, you blur, don't know what I'm talking about or where am I because I have a split screen, one part email, one part chart. If you have any such feedback, do feel free. Yeah, just WhatsApp me and I will try to improve to help you to look at the market at a better position. Okay, so thank you for viewing this video. I'll see you next week.